be honest with you, there are other centers that also give a push, kind of overlap. For example, it doesn't only send it to Broca's area. People argue that supplementary motor area, premotor area, primary motor area, all of them rapidly fire. But this is like a rough sketch for you, how the connection is synced, so that you kind of think, oh, there is a stroke here, now this is the pathway that is affected. Okay, largely you can predict pretty fairly what is affected when you see in the clinic. Okay. Next, we have comprehension of written or printed material. So eyes, here we're not talking about ears anymore, we're talking about eyes because it's printed material. Then we have visual cortex, same way, it's a contralateral arrangement. From my right visual field, the information goes to my left visual cortex, and from my left visual field, the information goes to my right visual cortex. Okay? This contralateral information, again, occipital lobe, the visual cortex here, makes sense. It makes sense of what are these letters, what are these coming, where are these coming from, what is the correct order. Once it encodes it, it sends it to the Wernicke's area if it's linguistic stimuli. Okay? And then Wernicke's area starts recognizing the grapheme, phoneme aspects, the semantics, the grammatical structures and everything, and again makes sense of the language, formulates a response and sends it to the appropriate area. Okay? If it requires a motor response, it just sends it to the primary motor area. If it is a speech response that is required, then it sends it to Broca's area. So there are different centers for different things. Karen, you had a question? No? Paige, you have?
Is the angular gyrus involved in that process?
Oh, this is a very, very good question. So, as I said, here they're just simplifying. You receive the input, and which is the primary center. For formulating, reading and writing, because of its close proximity to the Wernicke's area, it plays a very important role. I'm so glad you asked that. Your textbook doesn't exclusively talk about angular gyrus, but I'm glad Paige brought this up. It shares close proximity to Wernicke's area and the visual association cortex. For example, let me show you. So this is your angular gyrus. As you can see, it is in close proximity to Wernicke's area and the primary visual cortex. So it plays an extremely important role in integrating the letter stimuli, and then whatever Wernicke's area is telling, oh, these graphemes correspond to these phonemes together form these words put together with this grammatical structure is this message. So angular gyrus is more of like that interface between visually sensing the letters. That's why both reading and writing are affected if angular gyrus is affected, because it's that integration that's interface. So I'm glad you asked that. Good. Is it clear? How are we doing? Is it too much information? You saturated? A little bit? Because it's Tuesday after spring break? Okay, I'll leave you guys early. But I'll finish these slides. So please slow me down. You can give that question first. Oh, we got plenty of time. Okay, where were we? Okay, comprehension of tactile material. Here, they're talking about, for example, if you want to sense what the object is and what is the name of that object. So I give you a ball, you touch it. So that's what they're talking when they're saying tactile. So hands here. So the peripheral motor and sensory pathways send information. Oh, this is the texture. It is round in shape. I can grasp it round. And then remember, language doesn't. There is no fine line. It not only deals with printed material and auditory aspects, it also deals with representation. For example, you touching the ball, sensing it is round, but you'll have to retrieve the word ball. So there's a visual image in your brain that says anything that is round, and there's difference between a fruit being round and a ball being round. So there are mental images, mental representations for each of these objects. So that is retrieved, and your brain says, oh, that is a ball. So if I blindfold you and ask you to touch something like a tennis ball or a ping pong ball or an orange, then you can sense it based on the texture and all the features. You try to recruit your mental image, your visual image, and then your language center help in recruiting, in retrieving the word that corresponds to that visual image. Is it clear? So once that is sensed, again, Wernicke's area is important in making sense out of it. Or what is that? Is it an orange? Is it an apple? And then again, the message that is formulated, it's the same cycle. It goes to the Broca's area if you're expecting a response from the client or a person. Next, we have spontaneous speech, repetition, writing, oral reading, and gestures. This is for expressive language. Here, we are talking more in detail about how the expression process occurs. So the Wernicke's area formulates the message. Okay? Why does it formulate the message? Because it is the center that has storage, that has stored information related to words, phonological elements, semantics, syntax, all that. This formulated message is neurally encoded and sent via arcade fasciculus to Broca's area. Message is decoded, recorded into motor plan. Why is it decoded? Can anybody tell me how is it decoded in Broca's area? What do they mean by decoded here? In Wernicke's area, it makes sense. They decode meaning, they sense, oh, this corresponds to this word, and it means it's an apple. What do we mean by decoding with respect to the Broca's area, with respect to motor plan? Think. Christian.
It's the signal from Wernicke's area. It's a series of openings, and it decides what movements match up to each opening.
Exactly. Exactly. If in case I teach you a new language, let's say I say c'est la vie. Well, I know most of you all know that. C'est la vie, that's life in French. First time you're hearing, like, what did you just say? C'est la vie, what's the last sound? So there, you're encoding and you're struggling with the decoding process because some of the sounds might not be in your language or different. As Christian said, here, for things that are extremely familiar, your Broca's area already has the information. If I said, that is life, you all are native English speakers, you're like, oh, that is life. You say it effortlessly because Broca's area decoded, oh, for saying that is, this is the articulated gesture. Does it make sense? But if it's a new language, if I try to teach you Hebrew or French or something, you'll be like, what sound was that? Just like spring break, one of my friends was trying to teach me a sentence in Hebrew. One of my mentors speaks Hebrew, and I wanted to go and tell him something, and I was learning that, and there is this glottal sound, it's so complicated. Anybody can speak Hebrew? Do you speak Hebrew?
I can read it.
Wait, sorry, I got to do this. No, I learned it because the pronunciations were so complicated.
It's hard.
It is. Okay, it's called Zemisul Ochmidei. That means that is complicated. And for that sound, I struggled so long, and that's why I was trying to create a representation. How, and then she's like, back, bach, bach. I'm like, bach. That struggle, now the centers that are responsible for the articulated gestures in Broca's area, they're trying to create a representation for me. So now it's better as I'm practicing. So when I'll be ready at the right context, I'm going to say it to my mentor. When we're analyzing these brainwaves, there is a lot of scope for using that phrase. And the phrase is that is complicated. And it's Zemisupachmidei. I still need to practice that. So I'm going to practice and then use it then. By the time I use it then, my Broca's area would have a representation. And then subsequent recall will be easier because I've practiced it so much. Same way when you learn a new language. Okay? So, primary motor cortex via pyramidal system. So once Broca's area plans and programs recruits the motor plan, it sends it to the primary motor cortex via the pyramidal system to the cranial nerve. Remember, from the primary motor cortex, there is pyramidal system that go and decussate at the level of the brainstem, and then the cranial nerves from there go and innervate your muscles. So that's what they're saying here. After Broca's area plans this, it sends it to primary motor cortex. Again, it's very simplistic here because it also sends it to supplementary motor area. Both supplementary motor area and primary motor area sends this via the pyramidal tract to your cranial nerves and muscles. Super simplistic because we all know extrapyramidal system plays a role in modulating the tone